Hello ladies and gentlemen, and Idiot Imports is sponsored by PlayAsia, who most likely supplied this game to me unless I specifically mentioned that they didn't. You can follow the affiliate link in the description to buy this game from PlayAsia to support me and my channel, and you can use the coupon code BLUEVITA to save $3 off your order. Thanks for your support, enjoy the show. Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima, and I'm here checking out Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Battle Destiny. This is apparently a series that's been going on for a while. Just this game series, not Gundam Seed. Hell, we all know how long that's been going on for. But it's apparently a part of a series called the Gundam Battle series. And there was like 4 or 5 of them on the PSP. And now this is the only one that's shown up on Vita. Which is quite unfortunate since this game came out like 3 or 4 years ago. And I'd love to see another one after having played both this one and... what was it? Gundam Battle Universe on the PSP? That game was great. But let's have a look at Gundam Seed Battle Destiny, shall we? So, it's based around Mobile Suit Gundam Seed and Gundam Seed Destiny and all that. And I, full disclosure, haven't seen Gundam Seed or Gundam Seed Destiny yet. I've seen a couple of the mobile suits. In fact, I'm familiar with a fair few of them, including the Freedom Gundam, because I've got him on the top shelf of my bookcase where I keep all my Gundams. So... I am somewhat familiar with the subject matter, but very, very lightly, so this may be somewhat useless to some of you, but then again, at the same time, if you're watching me for the games and not for the series, well, let's just see if I can help you with that. So, let's go have a look around, as we usually do. There is an online mode of sorts down here, but there's a couple of weird things about it. There's no actual, like, online gameplay. You've got these things here, which are like, contribute to an online event where you try and get a specific thing done and you get a reward for it in the form of in-game currency. And there's this other thing where you can vote on like the most popular mobile suit of the time. And it's very strange. I don't really see any point in it. And when the servers go down, I don't think they'll be missed. The fourth option here is ad hoc multiplayer. We're not going to go into that because there's no real point. We've got an options menu here, we've got save and load, and we've got statistics screen here where you can check how you're doing on all the different missions and all that. You can change the control scheme, but I don't really feel the need to go through anything other than type A. You've got your typical voice sliders here, but the normal balance is fine. There's no actual cutscenes in this game. There's just in-battle, like, dialogues while you're fighting shit. So, I don't know, and I don't know what this option down the bottom here is, so I'm not going to bother with it. And then this stuff here, like, this is all with near stuff, but again, I haven't actually, like, gone near work in, like, 2 years, so 0 point to that. So let's get on to the actual content. We've got 2 options here. We've got the campaign mode, and we've got free or extra missions, or something like that. Free mode, I don't know what. So we'll go have a look at the campaign first of all. So, the game takes place during the events of Mobile Suit Gundam Seed and Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Destiny, and you have to go through them chronologically, and there's more eras and stuff you can unlock as you go along, and there is, this game goes as far as, I believe, Stargazer, which is again, that's kind of nice, because I would like to go and play Stargazer suits, but that would mean I have to wait until the very end of the game, which kind of sucks. The notable thing is that when you're actually creating your pilot for the first time, you actually get to pick what side of the conflict you want to be on the first time around, and then you can come back and do it as the other side, which is actually kind of neat. So, we've got a bunch of missions here, and they're actually quite difficult, which is a bit of a pain. Over here, we've also got Gundam Seed Battle Destiny exclusive missions, including a bunch of different tutorials, but I haven't actually bothered to play through these, because once you have the basic control scheme down, you don't really need to worry about it. Back in the free missions, you get to go to extra missions, which are just modified versions of the missions you've played in the story mode for bringing along other suits and just, you know, grinding with them, wiping the floor with them, stuff like that, right? And then you've got versus missions. I'll show these off at the end of the video, but basically, the idea is there's 3 other suits on the field, or 2 other suits, or however many you want, up to 3. And you either compete for amount of hits, which is this one, amount of knockdowns, which is this one, or there'll be AI units running around the field, and you gotta try and destroy as many as possible, which is the one that's highlighted right now. And you can actually come here and use all the suits you've unlocked. Because the way the campaign works is that you actually start out as grunt suits, which aren't the huge powerful suits like the Destiny or the Freedom or the Justice or like the really big suits. You actually have to go and play through as the grunt units, like the 105s and the M1 Astrays and the stuff like that. Again, not very familiar with Seed. If you know Universal Sentry but not Seed, think GMs. That'll give you the right idea. So let's go and actually pick a mission. Missions are actually pretty simple in this game. You're given your objective as you go in because it'll show up the top of the screen. It'll say enemies approaching or defense target located or something like that. And it's never been more complicated than defend this or kill everything. So there you go. We've got a few things we can do here. We can swap between our pilot's normal special attack with the suit, and for the M1 Astray, that's literally just stand there and fire all the bullets you have at something. Or the pilots themselves special ability, which I think the pilots I've got right now all do some sort of like invincibility shield where they become invulnerable for a few seconds. Not entirely sure. We can select a pilot. You're told to make 2 different pilots when the game starts, and you can carry along both of them, and you also get a bunch of preset pilots as time goes on. And the idea is that we can go into Blue Minima here, which is my second pilot. And you have a bunch of stats here that you can see, like 26, 29, 27. I don't know what these are because I actually have a lot of trouble translating stuff on the screen, even with the good old invert colors trick, which is kind of annoying, but there you go. So there are 3 individual abilities over here, and there's a bunch of them to unlock. You unlock them as time goes on. And I don't know what any of these do because, again, I can't translate them, so I've just left them on their defaults. But there's a little bit of customization to be had here, which is kind of nice. And down here, you can always have a second AI partner along with you, and, well, they can be whoever, basically. So you can take along whoever you want. I'll swap back to my regular pilots for the time being, but I've actually found it a little bit easier to play with the other pilots. So keeping a pilot down in here to let their XP grind up is actually a pretty smart idea. So this is the mobile suits that we've got unlocked right now. We got a few over here. There's a fair few different suits. And one of the things that you can pick with your pilot is, I don't remember exactly what it says, but basically it's split you into 2 different types of pilot, and different pilots can pilot different machines. So if I was to select this one, for example, it'll warn me that, I know you can't read this, but I've translated this message before. It says that the pilot that you're about to select can't really fly this machine properly, which is kind of disappointing because it's just kind of annoying trying to figure out which ones you can fly and which ones you can't. I mean, sure, you can fly whichever ones you feel like, but at the same time, you're not going to be doing your best with one that you're not compatible with. So we'll just pick 2 M1 Astrays right here. And if I hit right while I've got it selected, we can check out the upgrade screen. Now, the upgrade screen is fairly simple to understand. The idea is that you have access to... what's the word I'm looking for? You have access to TP every time you beat a mission. And this TP can be used to upgrade your suit. So I've got a limited amount of maximum TP I can put on this suit. And I've done a rough spread across the entire suit here. And there's also GP, which you can use on top of your regular TP that you also earn after every mission. So, you know, that's just the way things work. It's kind of... it makes sense because it lets you power up your suits the way you want to. I've kind of gone for just a sort of spread out sort of approach to things here, but you can do whatever you want with your suit if you prefer. I don't know what these stats actually are, but, because again, I just can't translate them properly. But, well, it's fine. Like, you don't really need to know any English to get into the Gundam Battle series. Because, I mean, I've been able to play Gundam Battle Universe, which has way more dialogues and stuff than this, and I've been fine. So, without further ado, let's get into the actual fighting, shall we? Loading times aren't really that bad. They're just a few seconds. You can take a little bit of time to get focused. And we get dumped right in. Okay, so we got some allied M1 Astrays. And we're probably going to get some sort of objective at some point. It looks like I don't have anything to defend this time, which is good, because the last time I tried to do this video, I got fucking wrecked. But anyway, here's the deal. So, this game is kind of like the previous Gundam games I've checked out here, or the previous Gundam game, I should say, because the only other Gundam game I've checked out is Extreme vs. Force, because the other one's Gundam Breaker, and that's more of a Diablo-style hack and slash more than anything else. Oh, well, Dynasty Warriors cross Diablo, but anyway. So the battle series is actually quite different. It's still got the same sort of... Hey, it's the Buster Gundam! Awesome! I love the Buster Gundam. I've got one of those. But yeah, the idea is it's still fast-paced robot-to-robot combat, just like the Extreme Versus series. However, due to the fact that you're in a grunt suit, which is a definitely nowhere near as powerful suit in comparison to, say, the big ones, well, you have to work a lot more on stuff like strategic positioning more than anything else. Which is definitely an interesting way to go about things, I gotta say. Also notably that you just can't, like, fire shit and hope for the best. There are some actual ranged limitations that you've got going for you. Like, for example, in order to hit anything, like, particularly... What's the word I'm looking for? Accurately... Where the hell is the enemy? I can't see them from here. And I can't lock on either because I'm too far away. Oh, there we go. In order to actually hit the enemy at range, you have to hold the fire button in order to let your aiming cursor track where the enemy is going to go. Which means that you can't just spam out bullets, you actually have to be tactical about it. And some of the stronger enemies can really wipe the floor with you if you give them the opportunity. You do have a few ways to avoid them, like obviously like staying far away and using your boost and stuff like that. But you actually have very little boost this time around. It isn't like Extreme vs. Force where the boost can go for like 10-15 seconds. No, like you get like 5 seconds max out of this, which is interesting to say the least. There are also other things you can do, like I can shield with my L button and I can change my... Oh my god, I'm getting wrecked. Jesus Christ. That's what happens when you lose focus for just a second. But yeah, that's not great. So, yeah, your basic attacks are square for your head-mounted weapon, circle for your ranged weapon, triangle for your melee attack, and your melee attack, you've only got one melee attack. It's not like Extreme vs. Force where you have multiple on the one analog stick. X is your boost. You can use the D-pad to do a few things. You can use select to... I actually don't remember what select does. You can tap on the screen to order your AI friend to do something, but I haven't found a need to do that just yet. He's on me. I better get the hell out of here. Oh god, yep, I got hit from behind. Thankfully, you've got lives in this game, so you can come back as many times as it says return down there. Notably, the more powerful your suit, the less times you can return, which is an interesting concept. You do also have charge attacks you can do. So if I hold L and press triangle, it does a charged melee attack. If I hold L and press circle, which I can't do since I died and now my SP meter's falling out the bottom. But if you hold L and press circle, it lets you do a charged beam attack, which is way stronger. And if you hold L and press X, it does a sort of like boost dash, which can take you a really long distance really quickly. But I prefer not to use that because it's not so much a waste of your boost, but when you can use that to do a long-range attack like this, and do massive amounts of damage in just one shot, you can kind of understand why I wouldn't want to waste it on just getting across the battlefield a little quicker unless it's absolutely necessary. Which is, it's neat. It's this whole system where you are a grunt. You are not the savior of the fucking universe like in other, like, Gundam games. It's an interesting concept. And considering that there are mobile suits in this game that can absolutely steamroll you if you give them even half a second of vulnerability, means that the game's difficulty can tend to go up and down from time to time. Because you have to know the suits really well, and you need to know what they can do in order to stand a chance at actually surviving their attacks, which can be a bit of a problem, especially considering that some people might actually want something along the lines of just, you know, just... Excuse me. Except, people just might want something like just swing away and hope for the best, right? But no, you can't do that in the battle series, which is interesting because it creates an interesting dynamic where you are the weakling, and it really does feel like a massive fight against the wall. It kind of makes you feel like Amuro does, or actually, to be fair, I don't actually. No, I do know the protagonist's name in this one. It's Kira. It makes you feel like Kira does when you're just constantly going up against shit that's clearly more experienced than you, and it is entirely possible to, well, fuck up and just, you know, lose. It is entirely possible. Thankfully, the stages are actually relatively short, more or less, so you end up not exactly needing to spend too much time just restarting constantly, and he won't stop moving. This is frustrating. God almighty. Do I have to get in close? Thankfully, it also does warn you if they're about to launch some kind of attack, which is very nice. That's the boost, by the way. I just used to get on the other side of him before he had the opportunity to launch something I didn't like. Although I gotta say, overall, if you're not a complete idiot, this game is actually quite easy. Like, I might not be doing so well because I'm trying to focus on things to say, but it can actually be relatively simple and more or less just some missions will just breeze by and you'll never have to look at them again, which in the defense of the game is actually kind of nice. It's just, yeah. Some missions are really easy, and then some missions will put you up against like 3 enemy ace units at once, and it'll get stupid difficult at the best of times. And it can really screw with you sometimes. Really wish this bastard stopped moving once or twice. I believe I've lost all my friends. That's not a good thing. Nope, he moved away and I tried to charge him and he shot me. That happens. I'm actually surprised. This mission's going for a lot longer than I usually expect them to. Oh, there he is. Ha! And now I'm gonna have to deal with him. And he very clearly wants a piece of this, so I just want to stay as far away as I can. Not the best thing in the world right now to be one-on-one with an enemy ace unit. Just wish I had the SP to do something a little bit more risky. Oh god. This guy's a bitch, Jesus. There is no battle that's insurmountable. It can just be a bit of a pain. Am I seriously alone right now? Great. Alright. Whoop, that's the edge of the world. That's not great. Might as well talk about the game's graphical capabilities. It looks fine. I mean, this game came out in like 2013 or something, so it was... We're talking the year the Vita came out, or at the very least within the first 12 months. So, it's not the best looking game the Vita has, and it definitely gets beaten out by games like Extreme Versus Force. But, at the same time, it doesn't look anything like... Shit. It doesn't look remotely bad in the slightest. It looks fine. It does its job. The effects are nice to look at. Yeah, you want to try melee me? How about I give you a bit of a taste of your own medicine? How about that? I am running out of time. There we go. Please let that be the last guy. Yes! All enemy neutralized with 10 seconds left on the clock. Okay, that was a little bit harder than I was expecting it to be, but then again, I am in an M1 Astray, so what am I going to do, right? In fact, I'm amazed I'm still alive. So yeah, you get a grade, you get GP and TP to spend on your suits upgrades, and you can, well, you can retry in order to try something else. Looks like I get a new suit, and that might be a new pilot. It might also be a pilot for the versus mode. What else have I got? I don't want to do another space one right now, so let's back out and we'll go do a extra mission instead, because why not, right? Better to do something that's on land and give you a better idea of what all the mission types are. So we can actually come here and select a different suit now, because the extra missions actually let you pick suits that are not part of the main storyline, which is kind of neat. So I'm going to go with the Gundam Astray Red Frame, because why the hell not? The Astray Red Frame is the most awesome mobile suit. Fight me IRL. And... oh man, I sound like a dick, don't I? Of course I do. But yeah, he's upgraded enough. It's only a 2-star mission. It's not like it's going to be the worst thing in the world. Alright, so let's just hop right into this mission, shall we? The extra missions are just, as I said before, the same versions of the campaign missions, just, you know, maybe a little bit harder, possibly. I don't think so, but they are notably similar. Okay, we got a defense mission this time. So we have to defend our ship from the waves of enemy sons of bitches that will try and destroy it. So let's go and do that. You may notice that our suits' weapons are slightly different, but for the most part, piloting all mobile suits is the same. This suit does actually have 2 different sets of weapons though, so, well, 2 different weapons I should say, not 2 different sets of weapons, but 2 different sets of weapons, but 2 different weapons. And I can't hit shit from down here. I just need to turn off my lock-on, because lock-on in this game is very tight, so... Also, the BQs, which are the robot dogs, annoy the shit out of me purely because they can throw out smoke screens at a moment's notice. They'll block your lock-on, which is kind of annoying, honestly. There we go, now you're dead. You can swap weapons either via using the D-pad or by tapping the little things up in the top right there, which is nice because it is actually a surprisingly reasonable way of changing your weapons, because your thumb can just move up there and it's natural and it just works. I don't know why I'm so impressed by the ability to change weapons, but I am. But yeah, as you can see, the action can get hectic. You've got enemy units on their side, friendlies on your side. You're constantly swapping weapons back and forth. You're trying to keep yourself alive because most of the time you're piloting grunt suits that aren't exactly the best for this sort of thing. And it does things in a different way than I've seen in the 2 previous Gundam games I've talked about, which is Gundam Breaker and Extreme Versus Force. And it's quite nice, actually. The game does, well, I can't actually say this for sure, but the game looks like it follows the story of Seed to the point of actually having these little cutscenes here between the characters that you can listen to. But again, if you don't really know what's going on, you're not going to have any idea what's happening. You're just going to be wanting to fight giant robots, which, you know, makes enough sense to someone like me because I like giant robots and I like them fighting each other in video games. But yeah, this is just, yeah, that's just how things work, really. Smack. So yeah, that was that mission. Much shorter, this one. And considering I did it in a pretty powerful mobile suit, I should get a better rank for that, hopefully. Got rank C. Yeah, not the best, certainly not the worst, but still not the best. Not great, but we will deal. So yeah, it does things differently than your typical, well, not so much your typical Mobile Suit Gundam game, because there's only been 2 of them. But it does do things interestingly enough. And I quite like that. So, I got no problem with saying Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Battle Destiny is actually a pretty enjoyable game. And there's a nice bonus for that as well, because the idea is, well, not the idea is, but the thing is that since this game came out so long ago, it's actually sold a fair few copies, and in Japan, it's on the PlayStation Vita the Best line, which is the Japanese equivalent of the Platinums. So, okay, I start out with a machine gun, and I also have missiles equipped as square, which is actually kind of neat. This is obviously a long-range focus unit. If I can just get the hell out of the way, maybe I can just, you know, like actually get some attacks in. Nope, I'm dead already. Fantastic start. So yeah, from the few hours that I've played of it, it's enjoyable enough. It's just, yeah, it's just slightly different. I mean, if you've already played Gundam Breaker and Gundam Extreme Versus Force, then this is perfectly fine to pick up. I wouldn't recommend this game over the 2 of them, but at the same time, it's enjoyable enough as a game for me to say it's definitely not the worst thing in the world, and I don't have anything against saying it's worth buying. And considering that it's on the PlayStation Vita the Best line in Japan, that means it's actually pretty cheap. It's like $30 US, which is fairly cheap considering that it's a physical game and all, cartridge and everything, so, you know, I don't feel bad about saying go pick this one up because it's cheap. And if you use my PlayAsia discount code, I didn't actually buy this, I didn't actually get this as a press copy from PlayAsia. I bought it for myself like a year ago, and I've taken a really long time to get around to it, which I do apologize for. It's just, yeah, every time I went to check this game out, something else got in the way, so. I can't see anything, it's annoying the shit out of me. Right, there's 2 enemies behind the, I don't know what this shit is called. They do give you a little bit, they do give you like these little story briefs and everything, but you know, translating stuff like that in Japanese, from Japanese using Google Translate is definitely not the smartest way to go about trying to learn a story of a series. I'll go play a multiplayer mission after this, but I don't really see the... Well, it's not like I don't see the point. It's not like I don't see the point in playing them. It's just... They don't really give you any benefits, at least not early on, because you want to be, There's a Freedom Gundam again. I just don't see any benefit in playing the versus mode when you can be playing the story mode. Mainly because you don't unlock anything in the versus mode, which kind of sucks. Like, you don't unlock any new suits, you don't unlock any, you just don't unlock anything that interesting, which kind of sucks, but there you go. There's the Freedom Gundam. It'd be nice if I was able to actually, like, unlock some more, like, late game units for, like, the versus mode. So it's like, you know, I could have the Freedom, the Justice, the Destiny, the whatever, all just show up so that I can play them in the versus mode without having to unlock them in the story mode. I can understand locking them in the story mode, but I don't really understand the need to lock them in something that doesn't really matter. But there you go, I guess. Just putting all that SP to good use. Well, our friendly ship escaped, but if I remember this mission correctly, something's about to happen. Whoops. And I just got shot. Go me. Well, the time limit's out, and I immediately die again. Oh, nope, I'm still alive, apparently. So now we just have to progress over this direction to keep the mission going. Some missions do take place over multiple areas, but the nice thing is, if you have to, like, retry the mission, you don't have to retry all the way from the first thing. At least I don't think you do. I don't remember having to, but there you go. Moving to the next battlefield. Anytime now, please. Little cutscene there, no real point seeing all the way through it. So away we go again. All my ammo's been reloaded, but my health hasn't, so that's not great. So yeah, they're shooting the shit out of my ship, and I don't actually think I'm going to be able to beat this one, purely because I brought a ranged unit to something that really should be done by something that can handle both, but we'll see. That was an example of a special attack. I haven't actually used a special attack on this thing yet, so I had no idea how that was going to end. And, well, it didn't end the best for me, let me put it that way. Well, I just got cut down to size. Yeah, my ship is unfortunately taking a beating. That's not the best thing in the world to deal with, but... Oh yeah, right, gotta swap buttons. Where is the enemy ace unit that just showed up? Yeah, I'm definitely gonna lose this mission just because of the fact that my friendly ship is almost dead, which is not great. And I don't think I'm going to be able to protect it for the next, what, 30-something seconds. There's the enemy unit, so let's just try and kick its ass, but unfortunately I can't really do that, considering it just won't stop freaking moving. No. I even saw the one guy fight off the final shot. That's kind of annoying. But yeah, that's mission failure. Unfortunate, but it happens. Generally, that's what happens when you come into a mission with a suit that's really not good for it. So let's just head back to the mission select screen. And I'll go play a versus mission to finish it off. I might as well go play this mode here because it's the most complex out of all of them. And you can pick whatever suit you like. So I think I'll go with the blues. Gundam Astray blue frame. And you can change the level of the AI as well. And you can also change what teams they're on for this. So I might as well make it a 2-on-2 fight and make everyone as difficult as humanly possible. Everybody else will just select suits automatically from what we've got unlocked. Again, I don't really see the point of this mode, but thankfully the matches are really short unless you don't want them to be, so we're gonna have a look at it without breaking the upload time too much. So yeah, here's a BQ, because BQ this. And it's dead, and we get the point. So there's a bunch of them running around, you just have to go kill them. And you can also attack the other enemies, which is nice. That's if you find them, though. Upgrading your suits is actually very useful, because you can upgrade individual weapons and stuff too, which makes them way more powerful. Oh, look at that! It's another player. Well, another AI droid, but whatever. Can't see shit. Goddamn cameras, I swear to God. Is that the other player come to join the fight? So we've got all 4 of our people here now. That's fun. Grenade. If you want me to be honest, I'm not even really trying. It's just, yeah, the AI just isn't that good. Not in the multiplayer anyway. The single player, it's fine. Because it doesn't have to do stuff like kill robot dogs that are running around the battlefield. No, it just has to keep its head on its shoulders and just try and kill you and your friends and your friends' friends. Just gotta keep them off me for long enough. Those are some very angry looking purple robot dogs. And that's the end of the match. So yeah, we won 5 kills to 3, which is pretty typical. And apparently I unlocked something new, but I'm not entirely sure what that is. But yeah. So that was a quick look at Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Battle Destiny. It's a fun game. It's a neat little thing to be able to fly around in things like grunt suits and actually feel like you're being overwhelmed by something instead of a game like Extreme Versus Force, which is more focused on sort of like fighting game style mechanics where the game is balanced enough that anyone can take out anyone if you're good enough and they're bad enough. But you know, it's still a fun game by itself. It runs pretty well and it's nice and cheap. So I mean, I don't have a problem saying if you like the look of it, go pick it up, because it's only 30 bucks, and if 30 bucks US, I should say. And if you use my coupon code, which is Blue Vita on PlayAsia, you get $3 off. So yeah, there you go. Nice and cheap. This has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.